I thought I could escape my mistakes quietly, sparing my husband further pain, but fate had other designs. He caught me at my final meeting with the man I'd betrayed him with, and the anguish in his gaze broke me. I believed that moment was the worst until I realized he was already weaving his response, a calculated retribution just beginning. That morning I skipped makeup and perfume, choosing plain clothes to signal an end. This wasn't a tryst, it was closure. I sat across from Nathan in a dimly lit corner of a quaint bistro, the place where a reckless spark first ignited. "This is done," I said firmly, though my chest tightened. "It's over." Nathan smirked, stirring his coffee. "Clara, if you're so certain, why stray at all?" His words stung. Loneliness, perhaps, or a fleeting thrill I mistook for meaning. I had no defense worth voicing. I didn't see the black car parking across the street, its driver stepping out, hands in pockets, staring through the bistro's window. My focus was on cutting ties, undoing a mistake I'd let grow too long. Nathan didn't resist. He stood, dropped cash on the table, and leaned close. "Tell your husband I'm sorry he didn't value you sooner." His tone was sharp. Parting jab. "Goodbye, Clara." I exhaled, relieved, grabbing my purse. But as I turned, my heart froze. My husband David stood in the doorway. His face unreadable, eyes like ice. No words, no scene, just a heavy silence. Then he turned and left. I ran after him, my voice frantic. "David, please let me explain." He didn't pause, didn't glance back. He slid into his car. The engine roared and he was gone. I stood on the sidewalk, pulse racing. This wasn't a chance discovery. He'd known. He'd come to see it for himself. Sleep evaded me that night. David's side of the bed was empty. His pillow untouched. His phone was gone. His closet noticeably sparse. My calls went to voicemail. My texts unanswered, marked only as sent. I sat on the stairs staring at the front door, hoping for the sound of his car. But the house was still, and the quiet wasn't mere absence. It was intentional. David wasn't going to shout or confront me. He was dismantling our life with cold precision. Morning came and his plan took shape. My phone pinged. Access to our shared bank account was blocked. The banking app rejected my login. An email followed. "Your password has been updated for security purposes." I called the bank, voice trembling, but the security questions had changed. David's doing. He'd severed my access. And I knew this was just the start. Desperate, I went to his brother Mark, who'd always been a mediator in our marriage. He had helped us pick our wedding rings, his kindness a constant. But when he opened his door, his face was distant, his tone clipped. "Clara, we shouldn't talk." I begged Mark, I was ending it. He just showed up. His eyes hardened. "Ending it? After breaking him? Do you know what David's endured? The years he doubted himself, thinking he fell short, the counseling he kept secret, trying to be the husband you wanted." His words cut deep. "He's not angry anymore," he said quietly. "That's what should worry you." He closed the door, leaving me with the weight of his truth. The next day, a heavy envelope arrived. Inside were divorce papers, signed and filed, dated 3 weeks prior, before the bistro, before I tried to end things with Nathan. David had known all along. The papers shook in my hands. They weren't a reaction to that day. They were the end point of his strategy. David had secured his inherited assets, locked me out of accounts, and filed a restraining order. I called the listed lawyer, my voice breaking. "This is a mistake. He can't just erase me." The attorney was calm. "Mr. Bennett requests all communication through counsel. He's transferred his assets and closed joint accounts. A restraining order." I was coming apart, and David was only beginning. At work the air shifted. Colleagues avoided me. Whispers stopped when I entered rooms. Then an HR email. "Meeting at 1 p.m. regarding your conduct." My stomach sank. In the conference room, my supervisor and HR manager sat with a thick folder. It held emails, photos, and anonymous tips about my affair, submitted via our ethics hotline. The HR manager said, "You're on leave effective immediately, pending review." My private failure was now public. And David hadn't said a word. At home, a box waited on the porch, my name in David's neat handwriting. Inside was my wedding veil, freshly cleaned, a flash drive, and a note. "You chose one last meeting. This is my parting gift. Don't contact me." I plugged in the drive, hands trembling. It was footage of the bistro, my entire talk with Nathan. Every word, every glance, caught by a hidden camera. The video closed with David's silent stare, then text. "You've lost the right to closure." The video didn't spread widely. No viral post, no public spectacle, but it reached my world. Colleagues, clients, friends, they'd all seen it. David hadn't shared it broadly. He'd sent it to those who mattered most to me. No accusations, just the footage letting my choices speak. At work, the ethics review ended in termination. My email was wiped, my access card voided. Even my parking pass was cancelled, leaving me stranded, pleading with a coworker for a ride. My family grew distant. My brother answered my call reluctantly. "Clara, how could you?" he said sharply. "A mistake is losing your keys. You broke your marriage and thought it'd stay hidden." My parents were colder. My mother, who danced with joy at my wedding, ignored my calls. My father sent one message. "You crushed him and now you're hurting us." Then I found a discreet online video. My face blurred but recognizable to those who knew me. A voiceover, not David's, but speaking his words, ended it. No need for noise to be heard. No need for revenge to find peace. Step away with purpose and let them fall under their own choices. I live in a cramped apartment now. The walls thin, the air heavy with mildew. I bus tables at a cafe, living off instant ramen. David's absence haunts me not because I want him back, but because he outmaneuvered me in ways I never anticipated. He didn't destroy me with rage. He let me destroy myself. I didn't know it was a Wednesday until my neighbor's radio blared a traffic report, a weather update, an ad for a wellness app. My apartment is quiet, save for the fridge's hum, a constant reminder of my solitude. Then I found a podcast I once loved. The guest, David Bennett, introduced as a strategist of calm. The host asked, "How do you handle betrayal?" David's voice was steady, with space, with planning, with silence. The host laughed uneasily. "That's harsh." David replied, "It's effective." He never named me, but every word reflected my failures. He wasn't punishing me anymore. He was moving forward. That night, I stood in my small kitchen, staring at a worn photo of our wedding day on a bulletin board. David's smile was warm, unaware of the betrayal to come. "You didn't deserve this," I whispered, voice cracking. I sank to the floor, clutching a mug, and wept, not for what I'd lost, but for what I'd broken. Months later, a letter arrived. No sender's address, just my name and David's handwriting. Inside was a single page with a quote, "Some storms don't aim to destroy. They clear the way." Below, a brief note. "I've walked my path, now walk yours." No signature, no anger, just finality. I don't look for him anymore. No scrolling, no asking friends for news. I've stopped hoping for a chance meeting. His vengeance wasn't loud or vicious. It was silent. And in that silence, I heard the truth I'd ignored for years. I wasn't spared pain. I was left to bear.